E aí pessoal, bora começar mais uma gameplay de Vampyr. Nesse episódio vamos continuar nossa exploração e dar seguimento nas missões principais também. Então, no último episódio nós completamos a informação a missão sobre a chantagem com a outra vampira, a Lady, não sei falar o nome dela. Então bora entregar a missão aqui.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires, but all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
Excuse my forwardness, but
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
how could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have...
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
Meu criador?
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely, it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost...
Once glorious, but...
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous.
Once glorious...
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
I know this is beyond the pale.
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now. And 27...
And who bestowed upon you this?
My maker. He left this isle
Very well. But I believe there is more to this.
A lady has to have some.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our... hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
And no one's...
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
Why did you save me in the...
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the...
I bid you for...
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Agora aí para o nosso quarto, então. Antes disso, aqui eu completei tudo. E ficou faltando isso daqui. Opa. Cristina e Clayton. Opa. Aqui. Será que eu tinha visto mais um? Recuperação de vigor.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Capítulo 3.
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak. But I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stole, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
But the risk of infection using vampire blood could compound the situation.
I know, but your blood now carries remarkable regenerative properties. With our minds and your blood, there's nothing we couldn't cure.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
Caramba. Eu não gostei de nenhuma dessas duas conversas.
I need to talk to you, Ed.
Please do so.
Do you know anything about the vampire hunters?
Without a doubt, it's the Guard of
They're definitely well organized.
They're extremely dangerous, and not to be...
Where do they come from?
Once they shared the Brotherhood's ideology on... Once they shared the Brotherhood's ideology on non-intervention. But they concluded vampires were a scourge.
So you manage a hospital financed by a vampire?
Yes. Pembroke was founded by Lady Ashbury. She's also our largest donor.
If I may inquire, how did you meet...
Well, Jonathan, she sought me out and offered me the position. It's been a very profitable partnership for both parties.
A convenient yet expensive way to have a fresh supply of blood on hand, day and night, don't you think?
All vampires drink blood by nature. Me, I praise the lady's exemplary moral fiber.
Nurse Crane will not be returning to Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, really? Did something happen? She seems such a very capable woman.
She was blackmailing Lady Ashbury. Thought she was murdering patients as some sick upper-class game.
Nurse Crane was playing a dangerous game. She's lucky Lady Ashbury abhors violence.
We'll talk later. I need to talk to you.
Please do so.
We'll talk...
Eu precisava conversar sobre outras coisas com você.
I need to talk...
Please do.
Queria entender essas pistas aqui.
We'll...
Parece que não vai ter como.
Spare your obedient slave.
Tá, vamos dar uma olhada. faltando coisas sobre você. Você tá ok, você tá ok. E tá faltando um sobre você. Eu acho que eu peguei coisas. O negócio que tava faltando dele.
I'm quite bit.
Tell me, Waverley, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to leave?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with...
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
What do you think of Dr. Tippett's opinion of your promotion, Waverley?
Tippett is a good practitioner. Maybe just a little too attached to his prestigious position at the Pembroke Hospital.
Really? That's exactly his diagnosis of you. A little too eager to get promoted? A little bit too proud?
He has the right to think so. But I deserve this promotion, and I don't consider it anything but well-earned.
Do you think Dr. Strickland has any chance?
His wish to cure the sick is not driven by pride, but by an idealistic view about our mission here. Honestly, I don't know which is worse.
You consider him a good practitioner, yet you will not report his methods.
Strickland may be a rival, but I will not use dirty tricks or regulations to prove him wrong. We are doctors, not politicians.
Thank you for your time.
Eu perdi um do Thomas. Aqui foi tudo. Falta um do doutor. E um da pipa. E um desse cara aqui também. E da mãe e filho aqui.
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
How painful.
So painful,
I'm sure you realize a doctor and...
Not really.
I see. Then maybe...
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful.
So painful.
I have to...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so...
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
What do you think?
I have...
Is this...
Some...
Goodbye, Mrs. Gospel.
O que tá faltando?
Good evening, sir.
He always knew the words to calm the children.
I'm okay.
I have to go now.
I'm all right. Waste your time with me.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
Espionar esses dois, mas cadê o local pra isso? É outra enfermeira que eu tenho que falar.
Hey! I'll leave you.
I've never seen so many people.
Carta amassada. Bom, nova pista sobre ele.
Hey, Doc. What can you tell me about...
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Am I right to assume your wife's...
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
A lucky charm? I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
I'll leave.
Is this supposed to be an hospital? A pigsty would smell better.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Doctor.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the...
You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents hope for many people in need of help.
Maybe you're right. But at the moment, I feel like we're just a cemetery waiting room.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital.
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Whose idea was...
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I...
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
Why do you do...
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon. Don't you see the futility of all this?
You put a price on hope. This goes against everything you swore to uphold as a nurse.
Report me then, Dr. Reed. Report the little nurse and keep on lying about the surgical errors, the wrong dosages and diagnostics that we all covered for the sake of our colleagues.
Exato.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
And what about Milton Hooks?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
Goodbye, nurse.
Bom, foi tudo dela. Agora tem esses dois.
How can we be sure we're making a difference?
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
You always need the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Tá, tem que ir ali fora.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Uma casa de suicídio. Fez toda essa confusão de silêncio entre eles.
Never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospital.
Yes.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
Can I help you in any way?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my...
Can I help?
I wrote a...
I see.
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
I have to go.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects...
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
Goodbye, Mrs.
Good evening, sir.
Beleza. Agora... Tá faltando a carta então para completar vocês dois, que é uma missão secundária. Dr. Chips. Ele tá lá fora. Vamos ver se a gente consegue falar com ele.
Good evening.
Dr. Reed.
Nurse Brannigan has been recently accused of neglecting her professional duties. Tell me what you really think about it.
This kind of protest is nothing but elitist bullshit. I trust Nurse Brannigan with my life. She has what it takes to be a great doctor.
Do you really think she could be the next Elizabeth Blackwell?
Believe me, Dr. Reed, a time will come when skill and skill alone will determine who can be a physician and who cannot.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Bom, eu pude conversar com ele, mas ainda falta coisa. Bom, tá faltando você então. Não tá muito longe? Vamos ir ali pegar então a carta pra já resolver isso logo. Carta dobrada. Minha querida mãe.
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust.
Eu vou devolver pra ele mesmo. O ventre da fera é fértil. Novo colecionável. Aqui. Onde é que eu tô? Já explorei essa parte? Ainda não lembro.
can't believe I'm doing this.
It's one of them! This one's a top! Shit, that leak is lost!
Bom, pra lá eu sei que eu já fui. Então bora voltar lá pro hospital.
Stop right now! I said stay away, sir!
Tá bom, senhor.
Damn it! Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir.
How long's it going to take to fix?
Good evening, Doctor. How is my...
Goodbye, Mrs.
Apologize when you're feeling better.
Good evening, Miss.
I'm okay.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now please, let me be.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
Don't you see how lucky you are? You're rich, you're in good health, and you have a loving mother. You're simply drowning in self-pity.
Leave me alone then, Doctor, and let me drown myself.
Acho que eu escolhi uma coisa errada.
I've read...
There's nothing more to...
Don't you see?
Leave me alone.
É.
I have to go now.
Escolhi a resposta errada.
Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor.
Mortimer is extremely vague as to his motivation.
As you say, Mortimer had no reason to die. All he said to me was that he wanted to make the world a better place, but couldn't.
What do you think he meant by making the world a better place?
Mortimer has always been a sensitive soul. He wouldn't talk to anyone for months after his father passed. It's like he carries everyone's sadness with him.
Why did your son feel so useless when facing the world?
I think it was more that he could only see the melancholy facets of life. He couldn't help but dwell on such things.
You realize your son could try to kill himself again? He might succeed next time.
I think about it every minute. But I won't stop fighting for my son's future. That's how much I love him.
You're right. Your son's death was not fatal. And unlike many on their own, he is lucky to have you by his side.
I can't give up on him. I just can't. I have conceded many times in my life, but giving up on my son is something I am incapable of.
I have read your son's suicide note. It was not an impulsive gesture, nor was it his first attempt.
He threatened to kill himself a few times before.
Punish you?
I've known for a long time he was not happy with his life. But I always hoped he cared enough to avoid making me suffer like this.
Goodbye, Mrs. Good.
Bom, completei. Agora fica faltando só você e você.
It's locked.
Bom, vamos ver. Esse daqui ficou inteiro completo. Acho que agora dá pra fazer isso daqui e vir pra cá, já que a missão principal é pra cá.
This is despicable.
Bom, relembrando, agora que eu peguei o rato, que um dos troféus é comer 10 ratos. Eu já peguei o troféu e esqueci de avisar, mas para quem quiser completar, fazer 100% do jogo, não se esqueça de terminar de pegar os ratos também.
Oh my god! He's done for!
Beleza. Limpamos a área. Parece que não tem nada. Vamos farmar. Vamos vir aqui primeiro então.
I'll kill you! Over there!
Parece ser uma DG. É, a DG provavelmente eu vou sair pro lado de lá. Vamos começar ela então. Já adiantar.
Bom, em realidade eu ia começar, mas nós vamos ficar por aqui nesse episódio. E no próximo episódio nós vamos continuar explorando essa parte. Peço então para deixar aquele like, compartilhe e comenta no canal. E nós se vemos no próximo episódio. Tchau, tchau!